Okay, let's move to topic 4.
All right.
Topic 4.
Spoiler tag is off.
Spoilers are gone.
Spoiler tag is off.
We have Super Kevin's Odyssey, as we're now calling it.
Here we
But
go.
basically,
Here
so
we go.
if you've been listening to the channel, before Umu was on the podcast proper, I interviewed her as my Patreon reward. Just one-on-one, just talking about her, like how she got into K-pop and how she created ReacttotheK. So I kind of want to do that with Kevin, especially because in like the last month and a half, he really got into actually being a fan of some groups, whereas before he kind of just reacted to stuff that Umu told him to, I assume.
Yeah. This is his NCT 127 come to Jesus moment, but we're just K-pop in general, not with NCT 127.
So like how did you get into K-pop? Like, because you know some groups like Girls' Generation you knew before ReacttotheK, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, how did that, like, what did you know about back then, and like what got you into becoming an actual fan of like Twice and Momoland and that type of stuff?
I feel like somebody just showed me Into the New World. It was actually their debut that I first
Into the
got
New World.
into.
Yeah,
that's actually a
legendary
protest song now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like they sing that in Korea at protests.
Yeah, like anytime there's a student protest or like a gay pride parade, like they use Into the New World. Like that's like the fight song of Korea, basically.
Oh wow, that's so crazy.
Social reform movement.
Oh, was my microphone on backwards? I know I'm not even recording this. So, like I'm recording on the phone. Yeah, it's actually in reverse. That's why. Wait, let me try this. Oh Jesus. So for this last section, you're gonna actually be able to hear me.
Yeah, we could hear you the whole time.
Cool. Well, yeah, and you know, I mean, it's nice to be able to play piano in like a regular public high school. So obviously, when people are talking about like Wedding Dress by Taeyong,
that was my song too.
Oh really? Yeah, exactly. That was the our high school generation, I feel like. Yeah, but
I mean, I know all of it just because I got into K-pop very young.
Yeah, you got into K-pop when you're like
he was like 12 years old.
Yeah, I was literally like 12 when I got into it. And
and I feel like I kind of knew Sorry Sorry, and I've heard like names Super Junior, like 2 p.m. was a big thing.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've never listened to a single song of theirs
2 p.m.
up to this day.
Listen to ADTOY.
Okay.
Definitely their best song.
Just a quick question, like how well versed are you with Chinese music? I know you brought up like C-pop or like Mandarin or.
As far as let's see. When did I leave China to go to high school? Because I actually stayed in China for a bit. Lived in China for like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What part of China?
Yeah. Beijing.
Oh.
The hot spot. And I think I left around 2009. So music around 2009, 2004, I'm really familiar with.
So like...
like Tonghua.
Was like Jay Cho, like, was he popular then? Or...
Oh, big deal. That was his peak.
Because I know he's still popular now. Because when League of Legends had like the finals, like he performed at like the finals in the Bird's Nest in Beijing, like the Olympic Stadium and everything. So I just wanted to like, what's sort of like the comparison or like the sort of similarities and differences you can draw between Chinese music and Korean music?
That's an interesting one. Well, okay, I guess I'm jumping. I'll go back to my K-pop timeline later, but that's an interesting question. Honestly, they're different enough because I feel like C-pop doesn't draw its influences from American music as much.
Yeah.
It sort of sometimes does more Euro dance music. And there are some more rock bandy sounds. Like there are a couple of legit rock, power ballad, rock sounding 90s groups. And K-pop sort of had that too. But even up to like the early 2000s, there were many rock songs that I could recall where like you hear the power guitar, you hear the drums, and that's something with K-pop. Yeah, it took until day 6 for one to really come out. And but then earlier this year, Umu made us react to Orange Caramel.
Yep. Orange Caramel is so
it blew my mind because it sounded so much like C-pop.
Yep.
Maybe it's the way the pentatonics work, maybe it's just the Euro beat sort of fast-paced thing, but it just really reminded me of the way just C-pop is constructed, and I can't even dissect it well enough, but it just has the vibe through and through.
Like one thing I'm not as well versed because I mean like my family like historically speaks like the Chinese side of my family historically speaks Cantonese, but I cannot speak one word of it.
Okay. Canton pop is more I don't know it too well, but
I find because I've been recommended some Cantonese pop song or Cantonese music by like a friend of mine who was dating like a Chinese guy. So she like a lot of stuff she recommended were like ballads, and it's like very powerful like female like vocal sort of things.
Yes.
And it's like I'd say that's a very interesting like. It's kind of like, I guess, the one thing I found with like Chinese music, I guess it's a lot more rooted in like traditional music. It's just sort of like a modern evolution of it in some way, especially like with like the, I guess like the ballad aspect of it is like it's like really like depressing, like sad sounding like sort of
right.
music.
Well, the ballad, the Chinese ballad goes back all the way to the 60s, where you have songs like "Tian Mi Mi." I don't know if you know, but it's like sweetness or something. where like they sort of constructed on a pentatonic scale, but it's different enough from Chinese folk music that it can be considered C-pop, but just really early days. But then on the other hand, you do have the songs that really sound like Chinese folk music, but they're just really popular nowadays. So I think, yeah, in terms of folk tradition, I think C-pop does connect to its roots more instead of being like this huge
more
industry.
Yeah, it's kind of like how with Korean, I mean, there's a specific like genre of music, trot music, that has its like roots in like traditional Korean music, just more modernified. But it's just like they've found more popularity in the American style that it's just not as. I mean, it's obviously really popular in Korea. Like Han Jin Young is a very popular trot singer, but outside of like the K-pop sphere,
EDM trot nowadays anyway, like which
is amazing. Yeah. But again, that's just like a side note that I always want to bring up. So you can get back to the thing, or Jacob.
One thing I want to add in there. So like you were saying, like sort of like the evolution and stuff like that in K-pop, the westernization actually, like in my experience, has only been happening like probably. Yeah, I'd say since like probably
3 or 4 years.
I'd agree with that.
I'd say 2010 is when it probably started, because like when I got into K-pop was probably when that started to happen.
Yeah, it used to be more Japanese sounding
like
before.
so so like if you go to like 2008, everything sounded very very
super
J-poppy.
cutesy J-pop.
But then you move to like 2013 and onward, then everything's very Americanized.
Right, because
or if you go back, like way back, like there's a group TVXQ/DaebakCast, like they did a visual K, like straight up like crazy like Japanese like emo hair type thing concept. So
I've seen that.
Super Junior's debut. Yeah, TVXQ is huge in China. But yeah, Super Junior's debut was the same thing. They were basically just anime character haircuts.
Cool.
But yeah, all the girl groups just did like super cutesy J-pop stuff. All the guy groups did super like EDM dance focused J-pop stuff.
Because I remembered, so going back to my time, I remember listening to the Wonder Girls.
Yep.
And Genie and G by SNSD. None of them sound like American pop. They're very much their own thing. And you know, now that I have more knowledge, like I've listened to like Replay by Shiny, like what? That's not.
Replay is amazing.
So good. Yeah.
But then I remember just being out of the loop with K-pop, and the next thing I know is like a Fantastic Baby by Big Bang. I'm like, what happened?
You're like, this is a completely different genre.
YG is definitely the progenitor of, like, I feel like they were sort of the catalyst for the move towards more Western style like of music, because I feel like I'd say that's when they were at their sort of peak, when Big Bang and 21 were like coming over to America and like basically dominating sort of like the airwaves in such a way. And I mean, like they were filming like music videos over here in America. So I feel like that's sort of what spurred on like, everyone else is like, if we make American music, maybe we'll get more popular and get like we'll be like.
Well, what another song that really caught my eye, I think it was a later TVXQ song. There's the one with the music video. They turn into like this one big arm and they wave their arm together.
Catch Me is such a good song.
I was gonna say, I saw that live. I need to remember the name of that song.
That's the first time I heard the triplet rap in Korea. And that just stayed with me forever. I'm like, K-pop can do this. And that just left a huge impression. And I think it actually made me not want to get into it as much, because I'm like, this is stuff that I'm familiar with, but in a more Western. But it also feels more maximalized, and with the higher budget music videos, it was like I actually can sympathize with people who like they see K-pop nowadays and they're like, this is alien to me. I don't want to get into it, because I was once like that. There was something, even being like, and someone who's lived in China for a long time, seeing that, I didn't really want to get into it. It was just part of me just
like from both sides, you were seeing like this is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Was the language barrier a big thing for you or no?
Not particularly, because I listened to their older stuff too without knowing. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Maybe it's because I didn't really follow like what happened to girls group. I remember like listening to like I Got a Boy.
Yeah.
Or like
The
Run with the Devil, and I just did. This is like not my SNSD.
Run. Because Run Devil Run was the
Run
first
Devil
comeback that they actually changed their style and did something crazy.
That's why I've been saying for a long time I want Twice to have their like
Twice
Run
needs
Devil
their
Run.
Run Devil
Twice
Run.
needs their Run Devil Run. Yeah.
Yeah, they might need that. I don't think they need
I don't think they need it right now.
They do it right now.
They're going to, and
I want it eventually.
I haven't listened to any clips of the new comeback yet, but I'm excited.
God,
I haven't.
Okay, Jacob's on.
I'm still
Still
not
skeptical.
Is wavering.
The 10-second teaser blew me away.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
I heard like half a second when I passed through the Instagram story on just some of the accounts I follow, and I'm like, "What is this?" Oh nope! Like it actually was like this doesn't sound like anything I've heard from the half second, so that's not anything.
I don't know. I'm really excited for it.
Cool,
but we'll see. We'll see if because
who
knows? Sometimes sometimes the 12-second teasers are nothing like the actual song. So
we'll see. The BAM 12-second teaser immediately revealed everything. But,
I didn't watch it.
Moving on. So then, flash forward to so I went through my Eastman college career, not really. And the classical music bubble helped too. Like, nobody really even listened to pop, and maybe but I kept, since I owned a car, I kept in tune, no pun intended, with all like the mainstream pop radio.
You listen to top 40 stations and stuff.
Yeah, so I knew, and it progressively got worse and more monotonized. And I think that was like the perfect time to like meet for me to have met Umu, and for her to have this idea. And I was
Side note. Do you guys actually call her Umu, or do you call her Emma?
No, we call her Emma.
I've always wondered that.
But I feel like at the conventions, everyone
called her Umu.
Because,
Well, that's what when I was first interviewing her, I was like, I don't know, should I, like when she was on the podcast, should I refer to her as Emma or Umu? But I was like, everyone knows her as Umu because of the channel.
Right, exactly. And she leaves, her not initials, but like her signature is Umu and stuff. But but actually, there's a really funny thing, and I don't even think Umu or Emma knows this because she's not really aware of these things. But the only reason that I'm on the channel is because the first time I saw her during orientation, I like flirted with her hardcore. But it was like, So if she watches this,
we're definitely sending this to her.
The cat's out of the bag.
Oh my God.
But like, it wasn't like real.
Are you okay with saying this? Because I watched one of the React live streams, and they ship reactors so hardcore. So you're opening up.
That's fine. Yeah,
you're opening up.
I'm sure they know. They've probably read fan fictions and stuff.
Oh God,
they've probably read fan fictions.
Please, no fanfic. Please, Wattpad, stay away.
Don't write those. That's gross.
No looting of ReacttotheK people, please. They're too good. They're too precious.
Oh, thanks. But so I managed to not creep her out somehow. But then I think she heard that I actually know a lot of music theory, and I'm actually I know my shit. And so she asked me, and that's how I got on. Like, there was no way I would have known her as like a person who's literally 4 years older than her. So something. So
if you had never even seen her, and she had just somehow heard about you and asked you, you wouldn't have done it, probably?
No, I might have done it, but I don't think she would have asked me in the first place because she's like most of the people she asked at the beginning were all horn players anyway. So
I was gonna say usually at the beginning it was people she interacted with regularly. Yeah,
it didn't take until I guess I don't know. Who knows how things would have played out? But that's an interesting backstory.
Did you know any of the other reactors before? Like, did you know Uni or?
Oh yeah, I knew Uni. Yeah, we're in the same piano department, and we got along really well. So it was nice to be paired with
someone you actually had a rapport with.
Exactly,
which makes sense because it might have been would have been a lot more awkward if you were paired with just some random person.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but Uni definitely made it all the better. But yeah, and then we started reacting, and it not even KCON LA, like to the point where KCON LA didn't even phase me to become an actual K-pop fan. Where KCON LA was a situation like last year's KCON LA, where all the reactors who were there just were in shock of how many people knew
big
us.
It was,
and we were also in shock of how big, the K-pop fandom was, and how insane, just how crazy they get. They know all the choreo. There's like random play dance. And they just really blew us away with the culture. But I think it was still the case where like it was so crazy and so overwhelming that we kind of just went back to our reactor holes afterwards.
To elaborate on that, actually, like with everybody like knowing you guys and stuff like that, like when we went up for dinner on Friday, on that Friday before KCON, like I was like, how is this happening?
Right, because you guys were so personable right from the get-go. Which is
that was funny because Cooper, our friend who came with us, he said like nothing throughout all of dinner.
I was wondering. I thought the podcast was 4 of you. So I was like, wait. So there's this 4th guy who never talks.
He's just our friend from our internet chat or whatever.
Yeah.
But afterwards I asked him, and he was like, I was just so starstruck because like on one side's PD and on the other side's like Kevin and Umu, and I was I watch their channels every day and I don't know what to say.
Oh, that's nuts. I was surprised because what we got at KCON LA was everyone wanting to take selfies with us. They never really, only few of them sparked up an actual conversation, and that's something like if I met Momoland today, that's probably what would happen. Well, even the ones that speak English, I would be like so it's getting that celebrity rush that really, it felt really strange. But after what was I going?
You're talking about KCON LA.
KCON LA, watched all the concerts, and again, with the concerts, it was like we reacted to some of their stuff, but like a lot of it was still like, we didn't really know these songs. Like we didn't know who Astro was at that time. We didn't really know Cosmic Girls or Oh My Girl, and so there were just so many groups. And KCON LA is the big one. Like in New York, it felt more manageable with the number of groups that performed, but with KCON LA, it was just so overwhelming, and it's just song after song and dance, crazy choreo, and just the whole loudness, the thick bass of it all.
So you kind of felt like you got thrown like straight into the deep end.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Without like safety equipment.
That's how it felt. So it felt safer to like be with each other and like just be like, whoa, are you feeling this? What? And that was like Umu's first big convention too, so she had her own thing to like get over and realize. So we were all kind of in the same spot, and then we reacted another year, and I think I did an arrangement of Pretty You that was pretty badass, and and so like I got to be more in touch with some K-pop stuff, but I never really listened to it, and I got to see Day 6 live, so that was the first concert I paid to go see, and that was awesome. So that it was all like stepping stones to like finally breaking in, but it definitely took a smaller convention like the Toronto K-pop Con, where all you get is like one concert per day from one group, and one panel room and one activity room, and you can only go and there's a tiny expo hall, which was basically another convention room.
We went last year.
We went there last year for Card.
Oh, okay. I know about your opinion on that.
Well, it was more EXID canceling EXID that gave us the opinion. Card was great, but
Card was amazing. That was my first concert.
I saw Card at LA, and I don't even remember them too well. So that's me. It didn't.
They're not musically interesting. They're just great.
See, if I didn't know EXID though, I feel like my EXID experience at KCON NY would have been the same thing. But because I actually looked into their songs, I was like, up and down when they finally played. It was amazing. Red Velvet too. Knowing them definitely helped. But so Toronto K-pop Con was like, I was literally going through to the same events with the same people. It was the same number of fans, and it wasn't like an overwhelming number where like it was hard for me to see the same person twice. But in this case, it was like literally everyone I see. It's like people I would hang out with the entire day, and seeing that random dance play where it's like a small number of people and you just see how everyone's so passionate, that's the one where it got me to really be like, I kind of want to get into this.
Yeah.
I want to join this cult.
Side
exactly.
note for Toronto K-pop Con. Didn't Amber know you guys?
She's like, she recognized my face or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
like, that's gotta be weird
Amber Senpai noticed you.
when the K-pop idol recognizes you.
No, and it was so cool because there was this girl who was in front of us who like made this ring out of thread, and she was gonna go propose to Amber, and then she recognized me too, and then the girl was like, like spazzing out, getting really nervous about proposing to Amber. So by the time it came for her to propose, she actually told Amber that, Kevin is my minister. And so I was able to get a hug with like that girl and Amber, like a group hug.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like this crazy time. And again, it was her first time doing like a live high touch event, and so she just broke the rules and made everybody hug her.
Oh,
wow.
And this could be the only time she does that, just because
security probably hates it.
You get more jaded, and you kind of don't want to
SM in particular.
SM really doesn't like people touching their artists.
Yeah, they have a no high touch rule. That's why at KCON New York, you saw like none of their groups.
Yeah,
had
Red
any
Velvet,
fan
Super Junior,
interactions.
NCT didn't do any.
Yeah, because
fan
they're
interaction.
very strict about it, because I guess they just stuff goes bad. But
With the kind of crazy stuff that Suju went through and TVXQ went through in the past, it's understandable.
Yeah. But
so
that's awesome. Amber seems like such a chill, down to earth person.
Oh,
I've kind of criticized
so
her music before, but I definitely love to hang out with somebody like Amber. She's so funny.
Oh, that entire show was just mostly a talk. Like she did way more talking and Q&As than
actual
but
music.
it was so much fun. And she even said right out the bat, like, I do runs during the day. If you see me, please stop me and talk to me.
Yeah, she seems nice.
She's great.
So now that you've sort of fully assimilated yourself into the K-pop cult, like sort of like how would you sort of explain, or how would you sort of, I guess, describe the thirst you have to just discover like new K-pop? Like, are you just like looking for new stuff every day, or are you just like sort of trying to try to slowly accumulate like your knowledge base of groups, or like how are you trying to go about?
I feel like right now I'm still catching up.
Okay.
Yeah.
While having these like 2 or 3 groups, including Day 6, where I really focus on what they're doing. Yeah, in the future too, like just kind of knowing their release dates and stuff, kind of knowing what kind of social media and what kind of websites to follow to really know that. Because like when you're out of the loop, it's really hard to know, this is the release schedule for the photos and everything. But once you're in, you're in.
Yep. Honestly, that's a very good place to be in, because like I remember that back in like 2011, like I was just like it was like a huge snowball of me just like, I love this. And like with Momoland, we were reviewing earlier, Andrew was like, there's people like criticizing it because the dance is the same as Tiara's Lovey Dovey, and I was like, that's one of the songs that I was getting as I was snowballing up when I first started. So I was like, I fucking love that song. That's like one of my like that's
right
a classic to me.
Right now, Kevin, you're like a kid at Toys R Us stage of your
Exactly.
K-pop. Where just like everything's just like shiny and new and so I'd kill to like be at that stage again. Like honestly, just like just being able to like discover. I mean, I guess in a way, being doing a K-pop podcast where we literally like looking up 100 new groups like every podcast is kind of like that. But again, just like that sense of discovery is definitely I think was the most sort of, I guess, engaging or rewarding part of the whole, like, I guess, process of becoming a fan. I don't know about you guys, but that's definitely what stuck with me.
Yeah, no, definitely. But for us doing the podcast and getting those 100 new groups, the only problem is the stuff Kevin's looking at is already vetted to be good. We have to go through these groups that have literally less views than we do on our episodes, and they're just like the most low budget, really bad stuff.
Gosh.
But there's gems hidden in there.
And plus all the ballads.
Also the ballads. But I feel bad. I always feel bad how jaded we are, because I love ballads too, like Jacob said. Yeah. But it's just like there's so many of them. It's so hard to describe a ballad over and over again in different ways.
Well, that's me in many ways. Not even with movies. With movies, I tend to still get that sense of wonder, and then the Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom comes out. But when it comes to like classical music and like performances, like my criteria is even higher than like most people at Eastman. Like, because I listen to so much, I would pick like from 50 recordings of the same symphony, my favorite recording of each movement. It's like, oh, this conductor does different movements. No, I need to pick one that suits the whole package. Yeah. So for me, every time I go to a concert, it's like 50-50. It's like, oh, this wasn't good, this wasn't right, and then everyone else is like, no, but it's this pianist, he's in town. I'm like, but I'm a bit more jaded in that way. So But I remember being in the middle school and just discovering these symphonies for the first time. I didn't care what recording I listened to. Everything sounded, powerful for me. So I definitely feel a similar parallel. Yeah. And one thing that I really noticed is, especially with this release of BAM, like, if I had come in like a year later and then I've discovered Momoland, I might, because here's the thing. I feel like no matter what happens with Twice's next comeback, I'm going to listen to it no matter what, because I'm like stuck with them. But with Signal, I don't like Signal as a song.
Thank you. Thank you. These guys kill me for not liking Signal.
No, I don't. Signal's my least favorite Twice song. What are you talking about?
It, though.
I like it. I don't hate it, but it's definitely their worst song.
Okay.
Their single, at least.
But what happens is, like, I feel like if I got into K-pop before Signal came out, Signal will be one of those songs where I would still listen to all of the time because I stand Twice. And it's nice to have the freedom to be like, oh, Signal is bad, and I can be, like, actually have an opinion, and it's not just my bias playing through. But I feel like as it goes on, it's going to get harder and harder.
Oh Jacob and I will literally love anything from Girls' Generation for the rest of our lives.
Really?
Because we both started with that group, and they're our ultimate.
Like, we both own like all their albums basically.
Yeah, I have over 30 Girls' Generation albums physically.
So that's definitely the hardest thing to sort of reconcile in terms of K-pop, where if you're on like our end, where you have to sort of take a critical eye at everything, but the fandom aspect of it is so huge and so much more powerful than just like critically appreciating the music, that it's definitely a balancing act for people like I guess like us. And it's an interesting position to be in a way.
There's also the interesting thing about how, like, it is music that you listen to, but then when you watch it live, it's such a different experience.
Definitely.
I don't like Cherry Bomb by NCT.
Like,
when I see it live, like, oh my god.
Yes, exactly. Seeing it live, I was like, holy shit. Like, last year is when it happened.
We did not like 127.
Well, I really did not like 127. It's because
he
of
hated Limitless.
No, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
I hated
I don't get the
Fire
hype.
Truck.
Which Fire Truck is the worst song?
No, I don't like that song at all.
Fire Truck's the worst song.
No, it's so good. It's so
Oh my
simple,
God.
and it's
like,
just
no,
turned
stop.
down for what but lower. Boom, boom.
It really is.
I love it.
No, stop this.
But that's why we call
And
it
the outfits and
No,
stuff.
it reminds me
no.
of the old dubstep songs where, like, some dude would just be like a centipede, and it'll be the drop.
No, but
and the fire truck.
that's why we call it the NCT 127 Come to Jesus moment, because like Jacob, like, it was his come to Jesus moment when he saw it live, and that was
like,
saw
that
Limitless
blew my
live
mind.
and was like,
this is meant to be seen live. So now every time I listen to those songs, I'm just taken back to when I saw them live last year.
Right.
So
right.
So I guess just we can sort of close it out. I guess, like, where do you see yourself going with all this K-pop
Where
stuff?
do I see myself?
I mean,
are you gonna keep trying to get into more and more groups?
Oh yeah,
I want to focus on
because one of the crazy. No, I think the next thing I really want to just seek out the feel for is like going to KCON LA this time, and like, because now I can't go back. I can't be that reactor. Like, there'll be stuff that Umu says you can't.
I was gonna say, how do you deal with that? Because you have a restriction of things you can't watch.
Season 3 hasn't started yet. There's gonna be conflicts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
for us, it's basically like you can listen to whatever you want. You just might not be able to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. I think we do have Twice's Knock Knock planned on our React. Like, I'm gonna know that so well.
It is.
Yeah.
And then there's like other, I forget, there are definitely a couple of other songs where, like, oh no,
like have you listened to any of Luna? Because I know you guys are doing Luna stuff.
Oh yeah, I've listened to some of the early. I listened to the song with the Grimes feature. Like I think their recent stuff is just so underwhelming. Like what Umu thinks of Luna is exactly what I think of Luna. It's just right now. It's just. I know some of you probably really like Luna.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, no.
Well, so for me, For me, I started out that way, but like as Odd Eye Circle came out and YYXY, I liked it a lot more and more. So I'm curious to see where they go with the 12-member group.
12-member group.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah. So they introduced a new girl for like every month for 16 months because they added subunits in there or whatever. So there's 12 girls. And they finally did the one with the Grimes, the new one, is their last subunit.
This isn't even
Andrew's
close
physical.
to everything. This is like half of what
that's half of it.
So far.
Oh my god.
So yeah, they released like 17 singles or whatever over the course of a year. Course of a year and a half.
I should check that out. I'd like to see.
And then now they're gonna do the actual debut of the group with all 12 members. It's coming up.
It's like the
All right,
K-pop Avengers.
I'll be on that train. I'll see what happens. I'm ready.
Well, yeah, actually, PD just did a whole live stream where he reacted to literally all 17 songs or whatever they did a couple of weeks ago. The last one just came out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool. But the next, as I was saying, the next thing I want to really feel out is being that one reactor among all of them who's like the most
really into it.
Yeah, I just want to know what that feels like. But I guess going into the future, it's just knowing more. Because one thing that happened was like even with Colton, the assistant editor, Umu's assistant editor, he's so into K-pop that when they talk about a group like Red Velvet and EXID, they know every member. And even with Pentagon, they know some of the members. And with me, I'm just like, these aren't groups that I stand, so I don't know.
We're ridiculous about that.
We talk about it, because I was like, sometimes I think about all the knowledge my brain has lost because I know so many idols' names. The amount of idols I can name.
Didn't you guys made a spreadsheet of like how many female K-pop idols?
Jacob and I were like just typing out idols' names. How many can we think of off the top of our head? And we both got like over 150.
What?
Like there's this picture from it was an end of the year performance where they did a bunch of girl groups did Into the New World together, and there's like 50 of them, and I could name every single one that was in the performance.
It's Red Velvet, IOI, G-Friend,
Twice.
and Twice. And that's easy. Like those are the groups that I like really care about.
I mean, that's so crazy because it doesn't feel like it, but now knowing like at least the members of Twice and Mobile Land, that's 18 people
that's 18
already.
Exactly.
What? Now
exactly.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It just builds and builds too. You won't forget those members, and you'll keep learning people's names.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
imagine like being an NCT stan. That's 18 people right there.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, if you know all of NCT. So is there like any specific groups you want to get into next? Like, do you have any your eyes on any certain groups?
I really like a lot of Pentagon, and seeing them live really kind of blew my mind. I even like the early songs like Gorilla.
You like Gorilla? I did not like Gorilla.
Really? I love it. I think it works. Like, I don't like gimmicky songs like Banana Allergy Monkey, but Gorilla somehow works.
Banana Allergy Monkey's garbage.
So bad.
It is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I guess what else do I want to? Yeah, in the future, in terms of future, season 3 of React to the K is going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't like to brag, but I kind of like to brag. I'm definitely React to the K's most valuable asset.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're the most well known.
I mean, I love.
And I'm
also,
and I'm apparently the most recognizable face, which kind of blows my mind because like I occasionally watch the React to the K videos, and I'm like, oh, I don't appear that much. I wonder why that's the case.
It's because you're the most animated.
Yeah.
So.
And when you do show up, you have the most like crazy reactions.
Like it's not a reaction.
You're freaking out over musical stuff.
It's not a reaction unless you're running over to the piano and just like explaining every single detail.
Yeah. And then it helps that sometimes Umu gets me to react like just with her on like the new stuff. We did Junghyun's album, and that was great.
Yeah, so I'm glad. As I believe, as Senator Palpatine said in episode 1, we will watch your career with great interest. Prequel memes.
Oh my gosh, you have 2 prequel memes. I do want to. I've only seen them once. I do want to watch them once again.
Wait, you've only seen the prequels once?
What? I mean,
I've only seen the prequels once. No, I've seen the main trilogy. Like,
okay,
a couple
because
of
I've
times.
watched. I've lost count of how many times I've watched every single Star. Because
Really?
before every like,
Oh,
main thing. I
wait.
watch it
Umu
all.
prefers the prequels to all the other Star Wars movies.
That doesn't surprise me because she's
Yeah,
at.
but Umu's-
No, it
I
doesn't
love
surprise
someone.
me because she's at that age where.
Well, no,
that's
Umu's
what-
taste in movies is
No.
very odd in general.
That's not
We
true.
never
Like
agree.
that's not
Yeah,
even
but-
true though.
I know,
I'm the
but
same
there
age
are.
as her.
I know, but there are a lot of people at your age that saw the prequels first, so they prefer them.
That's true.
Yeah,
They
that's
think
true.
that the original trilogy is like too old and like too like dated.
Yeah.
But
The CGI
that
in
is
the
a common
prequels,
thing.
It
Yeah.
gives me cancer.
But hey, you know, more power to them. They're on the higher ground.
Yeah.
If we're going back to prequel memes.
I guess that's a
But,
good way to end it. If you
No, wait, no.
I
I was gonna say something else. Yeah. So this is a pipe dream I have because with the whole with my nerdy music channel, you can tell that I have some serious work ethic issues that I'm trying to sort out.
Yeah.
tell me about it. I
Yeah,
have
tell us about
vlogs
it,
from
yeah.
last year that I never finished.
Yeah,
really?
we're-
Yeah.
We had a story.
Because-
We had this series that I wanted to work on. Andrew and I and Nate also, but we're gonna basically like it was like a comedy sort of thing where we like introduce like all this information about one group, and we just never got around it.
Yeah,
And then
you
come to
came
find
up
out,
with this idea last summer.
Yeah, and then
we
come
haven't
to find
even-
out when we I looked at Colton's channel and he basically has the same video that we wanted to make.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
sort
on
of
Red
thing, yeah.
Velvet, he has one.
Yeah,
Well,
it was really
he just
great.
made a comeback and did like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like unhelpful guys.
Yeah, I
sort of
saw
thing.
that.
Right. That's cool. But yeah, so basically the dream I have when it comes to K-pop is that I want to really start making badass arrangements.
Oh,
Piano
yeah, that'd be good.
arrangements, and
That'd
maybe
be
even
cool.
expand to more instrumentation to the point where like I can churn out them so regularly that I can maybe put some of them on React to the K, but eventually start my own K-pop
Yeah.
cover channel
I'd love
because
to
like
expand that.
yeah, because every time my mom calls, she actually watches React to the K.
Oh,
even though-
that's adorable.
yeah, and so every time she calls me, she's like, "Hey, does Emma pay you for this stuff?" And that got me thinking. I mean, you know,
You're like,
her policies are her policies. Like I have no qualms with the way she does things because she's definitely the one that like totally hauls ass for her
Yeah.
channel.
I
But
know.
so I can totally accept that, and she does pay us for like Skyping with fans. That's like a $5 or $10 Venmo. So I'm like, hey, I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
it would be nice to, because I am actually into K-pop. It would be nice to expand that passion into something that's
Yeah.
my own without feeling like it's cheating React to the K. Because you know I do arrangements to React to the K, but I just want to
Yeah.
do it at a point where the quality and quantity both kind of stack up, where I
Yeah.
can do my own
You
channel.
can have like regular
Yeah.
releases.
Yeah,
and
I'd
stuff.
love
Yeah,
to
so
see
now
that.
that I've said it, I guess that will
You gotta
help.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're beholden to the words that are on recorded video.
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
so.
on this
Right.
channel that like maybe 100 people will see. On this 50, maybe
Hey,
100
no,
people will see.
that's good enough. Yeah.
So wait, so technically, I use the Patreon reward tier as an excuse to get you on here. So she should pay you for this podcast.
Yeah.
She owes
go
you
bother
$5 or
Umu.
$10 for skyping for fans. Skyping with fans.
Nah.
No. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
joking. I'm joking. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's all I want to say.
Pretty much
That's-
it.
Yeah,
All right,
good
yeah.
sum up of what it's like.
Yeah.
It's a long episode, mostly because of the wailing.
No,
Yeah.
the whale. We talked about the whaling for literally over an hour.
But
so-
that's like
No,
literally
that's
the I
so
Want
worth it,
Breakfast channel.
That's
Yeah,
That's
we go
actually
so long.
that's actually why I really wanted to do this on the weekend, just so that I didn't want to have to cut off anything
yeah.
for like
Yeah.
sake of my sleep.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to like I didn't want to like basically I wanted us to be able to just talk like as long as we wanted to
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
like when we had when we hung out and had dinner like I love talking with you guys like around the table and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. So yeah.
That's what I agree. Yeah, I agree. I like that too.
also the ox
It's,
tongue.
it's yeah. Also,
Yes,
the
the
ox
song.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, tell us next time you're down. You're in Jersey. Or actually, no. You can hang out with Jacob all the time because you're always in. Rome.
Yeah, so you guys can
Right.
get lunch now.
Yeah, we got to do that
We
sometime.
get-
Yeah,
We
next
can
time you
get-
guys come down,
We get freaking gelato at Eastman House or like garbage plates.
I actually still haven't had garbage plate before.
Oh no, we
I
gotta
know
go
what
to
they
Mark's.
are.
I
but
know
haven't had
where
one.
to
What are
take
garbage
you.
plates?
All right, cool.
Okay, so it's like
It's a Rochester thing.
It's like 3,000 to 5,000 calories in one plate. It's you pick between cheeseburger and hot dog as your meat, but cheeseburger is the way to go. So there are two big burger patties, a ton of French fries, and a giant helping of mac salad piled up all together, drenched in hot like meat sauce on top of the patties, and have mustard onion on top of it. It's this giant plate of just carbs.
It's like a giant plate of a chili dog thing, but
exactly.
on top of hamburgers.
That sounds like an amazing way to die. Like, honestly, that's how I want to go out.
Honestly, on average, I have one per week.
What? Where does it go?
Because I forget to eat. I forget to eat so much that I'm like, when I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten today. Let's just go to Mark's that's open 24/7.
That'll be the whole day.
Diner. Yeah, just go get a plate.
If I'm ever up there, you guys have to take me to a garbage plate.
It's nuts. It's so great.
All right.
And the craziest thing is some restaurants, they have a piece of French bread to give that extra challenge. And like, if you're a plate purist, you finish everything else first. You use the bread to clean up all the oil.
You gotta soak up the sauce.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I think we're good.
Yep.
One last time to plug your stuff, Kevin.
Oh, sure. So, Nerdy Musics, it's spelled NERDYMUSICKS.
Yep, which is also your Twitter.
My Instagram is Nerdy Music, so remove the S from that. Yeah. I post on Instagram a lot. I finally understand it. So
I saw you put on your story that you're halfway through the whaling.
Yeah.
Earlier today.
Exactly. The first half of it was so scary for me. But it's basically I don't like Snapchat because Instagram basically is Snapchat.
Yeah, nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays.
I've fallen off the Snapchat train, but yeah.
Right. So that's my main social media. And I Want Breakfast is the YouTube channel I do. I'm about to release an after I watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm gonna do this 3-hour-long video
Marvel
where
MCU
where I rank the entire MCU from bottom to top and do some little talking. So
awesome.
Nice.
Oh my god, here 32 subscribers. I subscribed on my personal and on Truly Daebak. Come on,
yeah, we just got our 30th today.
Oh,
so yes,
please.
No, and it's only been 2 months.
These are
only been 2 months since we started. I like
god.
the pace that we're going.
Oh my god, you did a review of
when did you guys
Experiments
start?
Lane.
Yeah, we didn't continue that. We're so bad with TV shows, both my roommate and I. So
you started.
When did you guys start, by the way?
Huh?
When
did you guys start?
May
12th.
Mid-May.
Yeah, May 12th.
Our first review was Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and it's great.
I think you're that's pretty good, actually. I think you're doing faster than we were, so...
Yeah,
definitely faster than us.
So I have a Black Panther review that I'm just totally terrified to put up, because I talk about politics and, border laws, but, my maybe not so mainstream take on it. And so just watch my subscribers cut in half after that video.
I mean, that's
you usually
us.
get 15 all of a sudden.
Anytime we sort of don't
it's like Thanos came around.
Or no, anytime we're not in love. Anytime we're not in love with a big popular boy group, oh man, we get lit up in the comments.
Oh no, yeah. Anytime we're a little critical of BTS, we always get a couple people that are just like, no.
I guess in a way, K-pop politics and American politics, there's a comparison to be made there. Both can be crazy, toxic, and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I mean,
right.
you guys go. When does season 3 of React to the K start up again?
I mean, the crazy thing about Umu's work schedule is that we're still releasing weekly videos.
Oh, so it's still going.
Yeah, but it's basically when we start recording again, when the fall comes.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be when it starts up
definitely.
again.
We'll look forward to that, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have anything to plug on our end? Oh, I know what we have to plug. By the time this goes up, we are going to do our first Produce Cast episode where we will react to the first 3 episodes of Produce 48. There's a lot we have to say, so I can't wait for that. I still have a bunch of vlog stuff that I have to get around to now that I'm not done moving.
Soon, TM.
I'm done moving, kind of ish.
Yep.
God, I still have to finish this basement. Oh my god.
For me tomorrow, I'm going to start filming
Unboxings.
not unboxings. My go through my almost 200 K-pop albums. My collection.
No, it's like your Blu-ray collection video.
No, but basically, I'm gonna go through my K-pop album
Nate,
collection.
I just realized, did you count the ones that were on your shelf?
Yes,
behind
I
you?
did. I did.
Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna, because I don't.
Yeah,
did you lay them on your bed too?
No, I did not.
In the picture? Okay, never mind.
They aren't in the
Anyways.
picture, but they were counted. They're on the spreadsheet, so I think I'm at like 189 albums right now.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna start filming that tomorrow, and who knows how long it'll take me to film and edit. But
All right, I think that's covered everything.
Yep.
Yep.
So, thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Young.
Stay creamy.
Stay throbbingly creamy.
Throbbing.
No context.
No context. Hashtag no context.
Oh yeah, and look forward to the Brain Dead video.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Or Dead Alive.
Can't
Yeah, that'll
wait
be-
can't wait to go on the channel. Definitely.
Cool.
Stay mucho lit, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Next, we have the most important person on this list.
Yes.
Tiffany's digital single "Over My
I
Skin."
forgot to watch the video. I didn't get.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's
amazing.
so good. But yeah. So Tiffany put out her first.
Also,
American
I hope you like
single.
guys in short shorts and heels.
Hell yeah,
Well,
man.
yeah, it's yeah.